Dougie Fresh. Okay, tonight we're going to talk about family. Can you say family? Can you say familia? What's family in German? Anyone know? Not porque. What? What is family? How about French? Anyone know French? That, Juliet, it can't be. In Vietnamese? Anyone? No? Okay. Family. Say family one more time. Family. Okay. About a month ago, a student asked me this question. Tony, if you were to go back to middle school and high school, what is one thing you would have done differently? Anyone want to guess? No? Okay, well, I'll tell you. A few things came to mind, but the one thing I said was to be more grateful for my family. To be more grateful for my family. So that's what we're going to be talking about tonight. If you have notes, if you don't have notes, I encourage you to grab your phone or grab the sermon note sheets over behind me here. Because you're going to want to write down, well, you will be writing some things down later in response. But I understand in this room, there are various types of family dynamics. Maybe you are currently being raised with a healthy, uplifting, but not perfect family. Or maybe you have not had a family like that. My goal tonight is for you to not wait until you're out of school to realize how good you have it. If I were to go back, I would have thanked my parents and my family more for who they are, what they've done in my life, to make me the man that I am today. So here's the reality, first thing to write down. Actually, before I do that, I'm getting ahead of myself. You guys don't know my family. So I brought a picture of my family. Here's a picture of my family. Mi familia. Actually, I think I may have shown a picture before. This is the most recent picture we have together. Sorry about Jeremy in the back looking like he's like, what's going on right now? Everybody else is having a great time. Yeah, but we went on vacation a few weeks ago, and I took this picture the last day, right before we were about to leave. Kelly and I were getting on a taxi back to the airport. Yeah, so that's my brother in the back named Jeremy. Say hi, Jeremy. And then there's my mom on the left named Lisa. Say hi, Lisa. Dad on the right's Rob. Say hi, Rob. And then Angie. Can you say hi, Angie? And then you guys already know Kelly. Wow. That was really good. Yeah. So that's my family. Pretty good. Okay. Yeah, thank you. All right, you put that down. You put that down. That's my family. I'm sorry. Here's what I want you to know. You never know how long you have with your family. You never know how long you have with your family. So my family likes to take, we try to take a vacation once a year with my family. My mom's done it, and I'll give you more context to why we do that. And I really took those trips for granted. I took my family for granted a lot in elementary, middle school, even high school. For me, it wasn't until I graduated out of high school, well, until I left the house, until I realized, oh man, my family did a lot for me. And now I got to wash my own clothes, do my own dishes. I know some. And that is the message tonight. Lord, we just pray. Got him. I used to wash my own clothes, Kelly. Okay, I used to. Now she does it for me. Maybe I take Kelly for granted on that. Say thanks, Kelly. Thanks, Kelly, for washing the clothes. You did it. Yeah, that's a different message. Okay. Wow. But honestly, though, there are things that after I left, and some of you, when you're going to get into this space, ramen is like your daily meal. You get some like 25-cent meals at Walmart, and that's how you live, right? Because your parents ain't making you food. How many of you guys, your parents cook for you somewhat often? They cook for you somewhat often. Okay. How many of you make your own meals? You cook. Okay. You never know how long you have with your family. And here's what I believe. We just read this in Ephesians. I believe we need to honor, respect, and be thankful for our families. Honor, respect, and be thankful for them. So I'm going to read what you guys just read in squads. How was your guys' conversation or conversations? Yeah? How many of you guys have heard this verse before? Children, obey your parents, yeah? Yeah. Some of you are like, yeah. Some of your faces showing me that, yeah, you've heard this before. Let's put this up there. We're going to read this together, draw what we can from it, and then we're going to give an opportunity here in a minute for you guys to respond to this. But here's what Paul is speaking. Who is Paul speaking to? Church in Ephesus. That's good. Here's what he says. Children, obey your parents in the Lord, for this is right. Honor your father and mother, which is the first commandment with a promise, so that it may go well with you and that you may enjoy long life on the earth. Okay. You guys already read this. I don't have to break this down much, but it's easier said than done, obeying your parents, obeying your family, not always easy. But your parents should have their best intentions for you because they love you. But I really love here, why should you submit to your parents? Why should you obey and honor them? So that, and some of you guys already talked about, if you have the verse up there, so do this, which this is the first commandment with a promise, so that it may go well with you and you may enjoy long life on earth. Life is so much more enjoyable as a student when you listen to your parents. And I know that doesn't get a lot of amens, because I know it's like to be where you're at. But can I tell you, life is so much more enjoyable for you and your family when you listen to what they say. And I know in a second, if your parents are telling you to do something against the Bible, we'll get to that. But can I tell you how many times my parents have saved me from doing something stupid? I know you guys all got your lives figured out, and you're in 6th grade, 12th grade, and yeah, you got all the wisdom in the world, but I didn't. And so there are times that my parents saved me from some stuff, right? And maybe you're upset at your parents giving you instruction because you think you know more than them, you think they're just too strict, or what have you. But can I tell you from personal experience that your parents can save you from a whole lot of trouble. And so instead of fighting that, maybe you should embrace that. Also, let me just put this out here. If you can't submit to your parents, it'll be hard for you to submit to God. You can't listen to what they say. It's going to be really hard for your Lord to tell you what to do. Now, if your parents want you to do something that's against the Bible, don't follow it. Because verse 4, some of you guys who read later, verse 4 says this: parents, don't provoke your children to anger by the way you treat them. Teach them, watch this, the instruction that comes from the Lord. I understand that for some of you, you've been raised in a Christian household. Can I tell you, that's amazing. That's something to thank God about, not to take for granted. At the same time, some of you have not been raised in a Christian household. I know that may be very difficult. But can I tell you, you still need to be thankful for your family where God's placed you. I love what the Fire Bible commentary says about this. Here's what it says. It's the parents' responsibility to raise their children in a way that prepares them to fulfill God's purposes for their lives. It's the family, not the church, school, or any other institution, that is primarily responsible for the training. So if you've been raised in a Christian household, praise God. If you haven't, can I tell you, let me ask you, have you been praying for your family? Have you been praying for your parents, your siblings to come to know Jesus? How powerful your prayers work. At the same time, I'll say this. Your parents do so much for you, and we tend to take this for granted. And my goal tonight is for you to not wait until, for me, it was when I was out of the house. When I was out of high school. It wasn't until that time when I started to actually realize how much they did for me. And so my goal is that you don't wait till then. Keys can come up. You never know how long you have with your family. You heard me say that. So be thankful for your parents. And let me just say like a PSA. No, there wasn't like a group of parents that like said, hey, Tony, like sat me down and, hey, Tony, you need to talk about them being good to us because whatever reason. This is just from the heart. Honestly, after I showed you that picture from vacation, that the past few years on our family vacations has given me so much more honor, respect, and love for my family. My brother, my sister, and I have not always been close, but the past few years especially have brought us together very much so. And you may be thinking, oh yeah, I want to be close to my siblings or close to my family. Can I tell you, that doesn't always happen through encouragement or through the good times, but it really happens through bad times. Because I'm telling you, the last 2 to 3 years, I've had some of the most difficult, confrontational conversations with my family, but they were very beneficial. They were conducted in a healthy way because we love each other. You never know how long you have with your family. Maybe for you, your biological mom or dad is out of the picture, and maybe someone else has taken you in. Maybe a grandparent, maybe a best friend's parents. That's what it was for my best friend Corey I talked about a week ago. My best friend Corey's parents got divorced when he was young, and my dad became, as you saw in the picture, he became that father. My dad literally calls him son, and Corey calls him dad because that's who he became to him. You never know how long you have with them. Why do you keep saying that, Pastor Tony? Well, my mom, could you put up that picture one more time of my family? I want to show you. My mom, yeah. So she comes from a big family, Italian family. I'm sorry to say, but she's kind of got like a big nose. And because she's Italian, I kind of get that from her. I'm half Italian and 12.5% Jewish. That's a different story for another day. But got the Italian blood in me. Let me some Biaggi's, some Olive Garden. How many of you guys love Olive Garden breadsticks? Soothe the soul. Come on. Imagine for like a response, I brought you up like to eat some breadsticks and like that. Where that was communion, like breadsticks and yeah. My mom had a big family, 8 kids. She was one of 6 sisters, and they had 2 brothers. Okay. My family her family was close-ish up until one tragic thing that happened when my mom was about 18. Family was together one night, a Thursday night. They were talking, and it was leading up to a holiday. They're all together getting ready for it, and all of a sudden, one of her sisters, her name is Sandra. Sandra was 20 at the time, and Sandra was furious. She came down the stairs, she's furious, and she told a few of her sisters, my mom included, that she was about to have it out with her boyfriend. They didn't really know what was going on, but all of a sudden she slammed the front door and she left that night, about 8 p.m. 9 p.m. rolls around, 10 p.m., she's still not home. Midnight, she's still not home. Her sisters, their mom was staying up. Where's Sandra? Don't know where she's at. 3 a.m., and she's not home. And all of a sudden they call missing persons report. Sandra's gone. Next day, still hasn't shown up. Week later, still hasn't shown up. Searches are being conducted. Where'd Sandra go? It was at that moment that really changed the Bertolis family's lives. As Sandra is still missing to this day, 35 years later. Don't know what happened to her. Don't know what's going on. My mom could sit down and talk to you for hours about how much she loves Sandra, how much she misses Sandra, and she'd be the first to tell you, you never know how long you have with your family. My mom showed me a news clip that was from 10 years ago, the 25th year anniversary of her being missing, and just reaching out. If anyone knows where she's at, let them know. And I have this clip for you here today. I want you to see the story of Sandra, my mom explaining this here. Check this video out.
Almost 25 years ago, a young woman went to meet an ex-boyfriend, but she never returned. Tonight, her family is asking for your help. Justin Williams says their very long quest for closure.
When she came in her room, you knew it. She was beautiful, probably the most beautiful of all the girls in the family, and funny. and very smart, and she had a lot of plans for her life.
But those plans never came to pass for Sandra Bertolis. On April 24th, 1988, the 20-year-old was to meet her ex-boyfriend in West Allis. Her car was found in what was then the Red Carpet Lanes parking lot 3 days later, but Sandy hasn't been seen or heard from since.
Our sister's still missing, and somebody knows where she is. Her remains, and we would really like this closure because it affects us every day still.
When you hear Sandra's name, when you see somebody that looks like her, you hear a song that reminds you of her, birthdays, holidays, anything that reminds you that Sandra's not with us is very painful for us.
Now, just 2 days away from the 25th anniversary of her disappearance, 3 of 8 siblings speak for the family in asking anyone who knows anything about what happened to Sandy to finally speak up so that they can finally have closure.
And that will happen when her remains are found.
Sandy's sisters say they still have a burial plot reserved for her right next to their father here at St. Anthony's Cemetery. They're hoping, with some help, that they can soon put it to use. In Menominee Falls, I'm Justin Williams, Fox 6 News.
It's for this reason why my mom has always told me 3 things. Number 1, tell your family you love them. Don't just say it once a year, but say it continuously. Number 2, make the most of your time with your family. Number 3, thank your family for all that they do for you. If my mom was standing here today, she'd tell you those things. Hey man, there's so much that she's unpacked with us about this story and situation, but that day when Sandy stormed out, and then that began all this, ever since then she's like, hey, I want to go on vacations. I want to spend intentional time away with you guys, because your family, really the only people you don't get to choose. Friends come and go, family stays along. That's why I plead with you to be thankful for your family. Be thankful for your mom, your dad, your siblings, your maybe spiritual mother, spiritual father, those who have taken you in and under your wing. Don't take them for granted. There's so much that they do for you. I wish I could go back, middle school and high school, and thank my parents for all they did. That's why I'm doing it now. And I'll say this, I've been blessed with an amazing family. Not perfect by any means. I didn't like some of the rules my parents gave me as a kid. Just like you sometimes, like, oh man, it was so strict. Why wouldn't they let me do this? Whatever. Why won't they let me stay out till 2 a.m. at my girlfriend's house? Nothing's gonna happen. Yeah, right, bro. But to this day, we've had some, like I said before, we've had some healthy disagreements. There are, maybe for you, there's tension in your family. I'll be honest, this past Christmas, we sat down literally around the Christmas day, around the Christmas tree. We opened up gifts, but there was a tension that had been unresolved in the family. And so these 2 family members of ours expressed the tension, and it was a really difficult conversation. It lasted like an hour and a half, but we dealt with it because we love each other. If you're not having, maybe for you it's a friendship or in a family where there's something underlying, there's something that they're doing that makes you upset, something that they're doing that they shouldn't be, or they've rubbed you the wrong way, have a conversation with them. You're not going to get closer with them by just shoving it under the rug. The reason why I'm close now with my family is really in large part due to we're able to have open and upfront conversations with each other. But can I tell you this? We often don't realize how good we have it until we don't have it anymore. We don't often realize how good we have it until we don't have it anymore. I'm thankful for the family that God's blessed me with. Are you thankful for your family? Are you thankful for the people that have taken you under your wing? That have helped you in your spiritual journey? That have helped you in life? Who is that person? Who are that people? Who are that group for you? Because maybe for some I know in the room, you don't have a mom or a dad in the house. So who is that? Tonight, here in a minute, what we're going to do is we're going to, I have some sticky notes and some pens, and we're just going to take some time, and we're going to write out some thank you notes to our family members. Mom, dad, sibling, whoever it is. Why are we doing this? Well, can you put up that picture one more time, Heidi? I've been going on these vacations and these getaways with my family for 25 years now. And for those of you who know me or been on a mission trip or on the student leadership team, even adult leaders, you know that I like to do some encouragement circles, right? I like to encourage you guys and speak life. And for whatever reason, we've never done that as a family on our vacation or even at home. We've never really done an encouragement circle type deal. So before this vacation, I told Kelly, I really want to do this. I want to have a time, an intentional time. It's not forced, but I think all of us, especially the things that have happened with my mom and my dad recently, I think we just need to encourage them. And so I prayed before we left, and one of the nights we went out to an Italian restaurant. Again, my mom, big nose, she loves the Italian. We got to go to Italian. So we went to this place, super overpriced, but whatever. And we're sitting down, and I brought this up. Hey, I think we should encourage each other, and kind of laid it out. And those of you who've experienced it before, speak specific encouragements over each other. And we did it. That was the most powerful conversation and dinner I've ever had with my family. Why? Proverbs tells us that your words have the power to bring life or death. Are you speaking life over your family? Or are you speaking death over your family? What are the words you're saying about your parents when they're not around? Oh man, I remember when my brother had a total rebellious stage for years. I remember we had the cops called at our house multiple times. And there was one time the cops came to the house and they threw up my brother out the front door, and just so many stupid things that took place. And my sister and I were crying in our room saying, when is this going to end? What are we going to do? And I remember we peeked our heads out. We could hear the conversation these cops were having with my brother. And these cops they knew the house, they knew our family. And I remember them saying to my brother, you got it really good here, kid. Don't throw all this away. Maybe that's where you're at. Maybe you're throwing your life away. You want nothing to do with your family. You want nothing to do with your siblings, your parents. Can I tell you tonight? You're in your family for a reason. Stop causing your family trouble. Start to bring life to your family. Start to speak words of encouragement. Don't wait until I did to start being thankful for your family. And I'll even tell you this, sometimes I've put ministry over my family. And there's only one time really that I kind of regret. My grandpa, my dad's side, passed away in August. And it was kind of expected. He turned 101. And it was the same week as the young adult mission trip to Chicago, when his funeral was. I'm like, Dad, do you want me to go? Like, if you want me to, I could try to figure this out. And he's like, no, son, you go. You be with the students. We know your ministry. We want to bless your ministry, whatever. I told my sister to record it, and I remember some of you were on that trip. There was one night after we had a long day of serving, we had an encouragement circle time, and I laid in my bed while my sister sent me some videos from that funeral. And I'm like, I just watched the first videos of my dad. He if anyone knows my dad, he's very much an encourager, life giver. Doesn't get emotional very often, but when he was talking about his dad, he just starts breaking down. He's talking about how thankful he was for his dad. And to be honest, my dad's told me some stories about my grandpa, how he wasn't the best dad. But my dad, out of genuine thanksgiving and gratitude, just listed off all the reasons why he was thankful for his dad. And I was sitting there in Chicago thinking, I should be there. Why have I put this in front of family? I love my family so much. My prayer tonight is that your love for your family would grow. And I told Kelly the next morning, I never want this to happen again, where I put ministry over family in a significant way like this. And I'm like, I've apologized, like I've forgiven myself for that because whatever. But what I want you to understand is that your family does so much for you. Your family should mean so much for you. Whether you come from a healthy family in a Christian home or you come from somewhere you don't like going home to the family members that you're with, you don't like what your family experience or dynamic is like, can I tell you, God's placed you there for a reason. Start to speak life. Start to be thankful for where he's placed you. So here's what we're going to do. I'm going to put up the instructions for this response. I'm going to put out these sticky notes here. And I want you to grab as many sticky notes as the amount of family members that you're going to be writing to. And then you're going to be writing these 3 things. Number 1, what you're thankful for. To help you out, I put this, I can't thank you enough for blank. You fill it out. You can use 2. Two sticky notes if it's not enough. 1's not enough. Number 2, you're going to write a specific encouragement. Not just, oh, Mom, thanks for cleaning my clothes like I don't do anymore because of Kelly. Thanks for washing the dishes. But what's one specific encouragement? Mom, one of my favorite things about you is blank. Dad, filled in. And number 3, this may be hard for you. I want you to end with, I love you. Odds are you probably don't say that enough in your family, in your house. My mom, after we watched this video 10 years ago, after it came on air, she said right after we watched it, I wish I could have told her I love you one more time. Love's a choice, it's not a feeling. Maybe there's beef in your family right now. Choose to love. It's not just when you feel like it. That's some dating advice right there too, and some marriage advice, but it's a choice. So that's what we're going to do. I'm going to pray. As soon as I say amen, you're welcome to stand and grab as many sticky notes as you like per family member, and then you're going to write this out. But it doesn't end there. You're going to give that sticky note to them tonight if possible. I understand for some of you that's not possible. Give it to them the next time you see them. Make an intentional time where you don't just grab one of these and say, hey, Mom, here. You know what I'm saying? Hey, Mom, I've been thinking about you. Tonight's message was about family. I just want to say I love you. Here you go. Here are some thoughts I have about you I wrote down. Make it from the heart. Have it be specific. God, I pray for every student, every leader in the room. I pray that, well, first of all, God, we know that you have a love for the family unit. God, you have a heart for the family unit. You hate to see when families are divided. So, Father, I pray that tonight, this response would bring unity. It would bring healing. It would bring life. Because our words, whether verbal or written, have the power to bring life or death. In Jesus' name, amen. Stand up, grab some sticky notes, grab a pen, and let's find a spot by yourself to write this out.